So we'll launch OrCAD Capture, and using so I've currently got an OrCAD X professional base license, and then we're just going to do a new project. And the key thing you'll notice about this window now is this use workspace option. So this will effectively, if I make any designs, it gets stored in a default location, which is currently in your home directory, and it also then gets mirrored up to the cloud, or the Cadence cloud. So let's just make a design called S1. And we have a design. So if we go to where our workspace location is, there's a workspace folder, there's the projects, there's my test1 file, and these files will then effectively get mirrored up into the cloud. So I'm then going to look at the place component command, and I want to look at my library. So I've obviously got workspaces. There's another video showing you how to set up the different workspaces. You've got a default My Workspace, and then some that you can create and share workspaces for people to work on. So if I want to go and find a specific part, so I'm going to go to the Ultra Librarian link here. So there's access to Symexis, Ultra Librarian, and Snap Magic to get PCB footprint, schematic symbols, and 3D step models, and all the parametric data. And when that's finished loading, I'm then just going to put a search for a standard an analog devices part. So you can see it's got a few hits here. I can see kind of a schematic symbol and some PCB footprints and all the property information for the parts that I'm interested in. So if that's the part I want to use, I can just do a right click. Now I could just place this directly on the canvas, or I can specifically and that would give me the data similar to the way that the place component or place search providers used to work. In this scenario though, I want to add it to my library. So I'm going to do add to library. And the form comes in populated with all the property information. So I've got a part number here. I'm just going to add a Steve dash in front of that. I'm going to give it a life cycle. So there's some predetermined life cycle locations. The category is just going to kind of let you set a category for the items that you want, and then the subcategories based on that. So I want all of these properties. If I look at the models, you can see I've got a schematic symbol and some PCB footprints. So that's all fine. So we will, let's just save that. These are all the parts that I have. So I can look at that part. Let's do a right click. Let's do an edit on that part. Maybe in this scenario, I want to add a category. So we're going to put an integrated circuits as the category. We've got a description. I've got the models. That's all fine. So I'm just going to save that part. So my integrated circuits has now increased, and that part is now available on there. So I could just place it on the canvas as I want, just to show you where the downloads. If I go back to my my CDS setup folder, and we'll go into the OrCAD Capture folder, 23 release. There's a temp folder downloaded parts, and you can see there's that part there. So I've got the step model. There's the schematic symbol library. And if we go up one to the Allegro footprints, I've got the different versions. So there's effectively there's a nominal, a minimum, and a maximum footprint. The associated pad stacks, it's all the library files. So you can leave them in this directory. This gets added automatically to your pad path and your PSM path for PCB editor. So the tools do that for you directly, or you can, edit these parts, take a look at them, make you happy, and then put them in your default library location. So once I have that, I then want to make this part shared. So I got my team can work on this. So I can select this part here and do a right click, and then I've got the option to effectively publish this. So I want to publish it to which workspace? I've got a test workspace. It's a major change, and good to use. I'm happy with all the data. I then publish that. And once that's published, if I go to my test workspace, you'll now see there's that integrated circuit, and it's been copied across. So anybody else that has access to that shared workspace would now be able to kind of log in and use that workspace.